folks, hope you all are doing well. I'm Karan Bandal from Econosite, and in this video, let's talk about India's solar power ambitions. Also, India's position in the global supply chain of solar components. To set the stage, we need to understand what India is trying to achieve here. To deal with climate change, like most nations, India also wants to have more and more energy the nation uses come from renewables like solar, wind, hydro, etc., or from clean energy sources like nuclear, even natural gas to some extent. Natural gas is much better when compared with coal as far as greenhouse gas emissions are concerned. So, broadly speaking, India aims to increase its total installed renewable capacity from roughly 200 gigawatts at present to 500 gigawatts by 2030. Now, focusing specifically on solar power, India is looking to take the total installed solar power capacity from around 90 gigawatts at present to 280 gigawatts by 2030. To achieve this, India needs to add 30 gigawatts of solar power capacity each year. The good news, in the first half of 2024, India did install or add a record 15 gigawatts of solar power capacity. This year, India is on track. India seems to have understood how to install large-scale solar power plants. For these large solar power plants, solar panels are needed. Who's making these panels? Where are these solar panels coming from? To properly answer that question, we need a rough overview of how a solar panel is made and who controls different stages in the supply chain. A typical solar panel that you see in a large-scale solar project or in a rooftop solar installation is called PV module. This is the finished product. Each PV module is made up of several solar cells. Now, the process to make a PV module starts with transforming mined silica minerals into polysilicon. Polysilicon is then turned into an ingot. Imagine a block of mass or material that has been cast into a specific shape, like a cube or a cylinder. That is an ingot. When you cut and slice the ingot, you end up with uniformly shaped wafers. Finally, solar cells are made from these wafers, and a PV module is made up of solar cells. Now look at PV manufacturing capacity by country across these production stages. China clearly dominates all the manufacturing stages, especially wafers and ingots. So back to the question, where are the solar panels that India needs coming from? Part of the answer is China, but there's more to it. India has done well in adding the domestic module manufacturing capacity. India had about 38 gigawatts of module manufacturing capacity as of 2023. Remember, India needs to add 30 gigawatts of solar power capacity each year. So, India is self-sufficient in case of the modules. In fact, India can export modules after meeting the domestic requirement. But to make domestic PV modules, solar cells are needed. And India had only about 7 gigawatts of solar cell manufacturing capacity as of 2023, meaning the remaining 23 odd gigawatts of solar cells will have to be imported from China or other countries. So the next stage of development for India is to become self-sufficient in solar cell manufacturing and keep moving up the value chain until we reach the polysilicon stage. Till then, India will remain reliant on China. In summary, India is looking to aggressively add solar power capacity in its energy mix, roughly 30 gigawatts each year. India has achieved self-sufficiency in PV module manufacturing, but in solar cell manufacturing and other upstream processes, India still relies on imports. It is possible, however, that more and more solar cell manufacturing capacity will be set up in India as a result of US tariffs on Chinese solar companies, and that should also provide an impetus to India's solar exports. I hope you found this analysis interesting. I'll speak with you again next week. Until then, take care.